corporate liability provision under the Section 17A had been added through the amendment in 2018 of the Malaysian Anti-Corruption Commission Act, 2009. It had come into enforcement on the 1st of June of 2020. It covers the commercial organization incorporated under the Companies Act 2016, the Partnership Act 1961, the Limited Liability Partnerships Act 2012, and a company wherever incorporated but carries on a business in Malaysia. The objectives of introducing corporate liability provision is to encourage honest and bribe-free business transactions, to encourage commercial organizations to take adequate measures in preventing corruption in the organization, to promote good governance and compliance to the Malaysian Anti-Corruption Commission Act 2009. Prior to Section 17A, Malaysian law primarily targeted individuals involved in corrupt practices. Companies, often seen as passive bystanders, escaped from direct liability. This has changed with the implementation of the Section 17A. This legislation has shifted the paradigm by holding commercial organizations directly responsible for the corrupt actions of their employees and associates. The message was clear that ignorance or turning a blind eye to corrupt practices within an organization would no longer be acceptable. This new legislation compels companies to take proactive measures to prevent bribery and corruption within their organizations. The introduction of new legislation was driven by a pressing need to address a critical gap in Malaysia's anti-corruption framework. The Malaysian government recognized that corruption thrived when companies turned a blind eye to unethical behavior within their ranks. This legislation aimed to break the culture of impunity that allowed corruption to foster. The new provision is not just about punishing wrongdoers, it's about fostering a culture of integrity and transparency in the corporate world. By holding companies accountable for the actions of their employees and associates, this legislation encourages businesses to give importance to ethical conduct and compliance. This, in turn, creates a level playing field for businesses. It underscores Malaysia's commitment to creating a business environment free from corruption. This commitment is crucial for attracting foreign investment, fostering healthy competition, and ensuring sustainable economic growth. Combating corruption effectively is important in strengthening competitiveness on the global stage. As per the Section 17A of the Malaysian Anti-Corruption Commission Act, 2009 commercial organization commits an offense if a person associated with the commercial organization corruptly gives, agrees to give, promises, or offers to any person any gratification, whether for the benefit of that person or another person, with intent to obtain or retain business for the commercial organization, or to obtain or retain an advantage in the conduct of business for the commercial organization. Companies can be held liable for the actions of not just their direct employees, but also those who represent the company in any business dealings. It encompasses a wide range of corrupt activities, including the offering or acceptance of gifts, entertainment, hospitality, donations, sponsorships, and even employment or contract opportunities. This broad definition reflects the reality of how corruption operates in the modern business world, taking on subtle and often disguised forms. The introduction of Section 17A brought with it a new era of corporate accountability, complete with hefty penalties for non-compliance. Companies found guilty of offenses under this section face severe consequences, including fines of not less than 10 times the sum of value of the gratification, or 1 million Malaysian ringgit, whichever is higher. Imprisonment of not more than 20 years, or both. However, Section 17A does offer companies a crucial lifeline to avoid prosecution. The commercial organizations can defend themselves if they can show that the organization has implemented adequate procedure in its operation. These procedures may include implementing robust anti-bribery and corruption policies, conducting regular risk assessments, providing anti-corruption training to employees, and establishing clear whistleblowing mechanisms. It's not enough for companies to simply react to instances of corruption. They need to actively work to prevent them. This defense mechanism encourages companies to embed a culture of compliance into their DNA, making ethical conduct a core business principle. The real-world impact of Section 17A came into focus with the case of Pristine Offshore SDN, BHD. This case served as a reminder of the high stakes involved and the potential consequences for companies that failed to comply with the new provision. Pristine Offshore SDN BHD, an offshore vessel company, was charged under Section 17A for giving a bribe of Malaysian ringgit 3,21,350 to the chief operating officer of Delium Prima SDN BHD to ensure that it was awarded a subcontract from Petronas Caragali Stian. The charges against Pristine Offshore SDN BHD were significant because it was the first prosecution under the Section 17A, and it has highlighted the law's broad scope. With the enactment of this section, companies faced with the prospect of being held directly liable for corrupt practices in their organization, the law ushered in a new era of corporate responsibility, compelling businesses to reassess their internal controls and compliance programs. One of the most significant impacts of Section 17A has been the increased focus on corporate governance. The implementation of Section 17A has reshaped the corporate landscape. This law, with its emphasis on corporate accountability and proactive compliance, is not just a flash in the pan. It represents a long-term shift towards greater transparency and ethical conduct in the business world. The true measure of success of Section 17A will be its ability to foster a genuine culture of compliance within organizations. This requires a sustained effort from both the government and the private sector. The government needs to continue to provide clear guidance on the law and its enforcement, while businesses need to demonstrate a genuine commitment to ethical conduct. As Malaysia continues to attract foreign investment, its commitment to combating corruption will be crucial. Malaysia's experience with Section 17A offers valuable lessons for other countries grappling with corruption. Its focus on corporate liability, coupled with its emphasis on proactive compliance, provides a blueprint for other nations looking to strengthen their anti-corruption frameworks. The global fight against corruption requires a rigorous effort, with countries sharing best practices and learning from each other's experiences. Implementation of the Malaysian Anti-Corruption Commission Act, 2009 Section 17A, demonstrates that it is possible to create a more transparent and accountable business environment and foster culture of compliance. It also inspires other nations to adopt similar legislation, leading to a global shift towards greater corporate responsibility. Thanks for watching. For more videos, like and subscribe my channel.